Hello and welcome to Denim and Pearls. My name is Michelle Moroz.
And I'm Brian Swanson.
And we are business casual with
Pearls of Wisdom.
From the Porch. Thank you for joining us today. And if you could, please share and like this now with your friends and have them join us because today is a special edition of Denim and Pearls. Topic is, I dare you to say it without singing it.
I still can't sing. You know that. So let's do
the time warp again. That is not singing. That's screaming out loud.
Oh. So what I mean, we all know what the time warp is, I think. I think most people are familiar with that movie. But what do you mean by the time warp? What are we doing on this topic?
Well, I talked about in the description, I said, what if you had one opportunity to change one thing in your life, one moment, one event? Would you do it and why? And if you would do it, what do you think it would change? What domino effect do you think would occur?
That's like a very huge conversation. There's so many things in life that any of us could change. Anybody could change anything. Anybody of us could change. You know, if we could go back and do it all again.
If I could turn back time.
Okay, Cher. You're a little too short for Cher.
Like we're stones.
There you go. So, but it's huge. I mean, we could go back to things within our life that could have made a difference. It could have been that one sentence we said somewhere that I wish I would have never said that, or whatever the case may be. But I think we're talking business here. So,
well, we're talking life and business, but really we're talking about, do you really believe if it was possible, if you had a genie pop in front of you right now and they said you can change one thing, what would it be?
I don't know. I say that I don't know because when I hear this question a lot, I look back at the fact of most people decide that it's because of something they regret doing. But I don't think that's what we're talking about. And I honestly, in my own life, I don't believe I have any regrets. There's a few things I wish I hadn't done, but I don't think I regret doing anything or any way that my life has turned out. I would say there's a few things that may have influenced my life decisions that I wish wouldn't have been there to make the choices. But then again, where would I be today if it wasn't for that?
Now, see, and I don't look at it as changing any regrets. I change it in, I think of it as I would go back and instill a habit in myself that I already have now, one that it took me most of my life to learn. So I used to be very, very into exercise, running and things like that. And then I took a period of my life where I stopped. So what I would change would be that my love of exercise never stopped, that I always kept it a priority in my life. And that's it. Think of it as,
oh, that was me talking to me.
That's weird.
I was trying to do a share and I kind of screwed all of that up.
Well, while you're over there messing with your phone, I failed to say, welcome to Denim and Pearls. Please like and share our Facebook page and go to our YouTube page and also click the subscribe button on that. And then if you could do us a favor while you're here live with us, share with some friends and say, hey, join, because these people are informative and fun. If you would like to be a sponsor on the Denim and Pearls page, I'm going to keep talking. Please
just keep talking. I think I'm finding it.
Or straight to the Denim and Pearls page and let us know that you're interested, and we will send you the tiers of being a subscriber, not a subscriber, being a sponsor. Are you done yet?
Almost. I am almost. It was really weird. It just didn't want to play nice.
Okay, so let's do the time warp again. It's an introspective question. It's one of those questions that happens when you're sitting on the porch drinking a beer. If you could change one thing, what would you do? We've had those kind of conversations, right?
I think the porch
would it be?
I think the porch usually turns around to, well, if it wasn't for the ex-wife, which I don't have one, but That's just in generic, I think that's where the beer comes in. Well, if it wasn't for that ex-wife, I'd have money. If it wasn't for my brother, I'd have toys that he didn't blow up.
Let's switch this to business though. What
Okay.
in your business what one thing would you have changed now in your business right now at the end of 2020? What would you change to make your business better? What would you like to go back in time and fix?
Now that you asked that, even though that's what we were talking about, I honestly think that if I had to do Galaxy Fest over again, I would have had bigger sponsors.
You have to explain what Galaxy Fest is. Not everyone knows what that is.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, Galaxy Fest was a 3-day pop culture convention. We had upwards of 6,000 people in the weekend. It was all kinds of comic books and pop culture and horror and sci-fi and everything like that mixed together. But I think going back to that, which is no longer in existence, of course, if I could go back and change that, and I kind of said it while we were even in the midst of doing it, I wish I would have had bigger sponsors, more money, or just had an unlimited pocketbook to make things different. Because by doing that, with having money, you have other opportunities to do other things that you really dream of. Now, would that have made a difference in its success and whether it would have continued on today? We'll never know the answer to that. But I felt at the time that if there was more money, if I would have had $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 to put the event together, which I didn't have to worry about losing, because it's always risk, no matter what it is that you do, I would go back and try and see if I could find money. But do I regret the situation and the way things turned out? No, not at all. But if I had to turn back time and could do a little bit over again, I think that's what it would be, is just having more money. And I think that's probably true for a lot of people in their business or even in their life. If only I had a little bit more money, but I think that also comes back to what we're talking about today. If I only would have tried a little bit harder.
So my question to you is, well, no, let's just keep going on that one.
Is this information day? Is this question Brian day?
Well, I'm just curious because, if we went back in time and had more money, well, so if we started our business with more pocket money before we actually started the business, what would have that done? Well, in my mind, you would have started off with more money, but you would have spent more money because you would have went bigger and louder, right? You would have expanded. So really, it's almost like a goldfish in a bowl. It will only grow. The business will only grow to the amount that you put it in. Okay. If you put it in a bigger thing, it will grow to that. So really, perspective of money, in my mind, it's irrational. It's not irrational. It just doesn't matter. You are what you are with the money you have. If you had more money, you would have spent it the same way and still ended up where you are right now. Are you following?
I'm tracking and I'm picking up what you're putting down, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with it.
Well, because my thought process is you would have went, oh, great. Well, okay, we've got this great big budget. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Well, with the tighter budget, you went, okay, we're going to do that. Let's think about that. Let's hold off on that. Okay, we're going to do that. And you were very selective about what you did, and it was still very successful. So,
right, but it would have also given us more money to do marketing and such, which could have made it a bigger attendance.
It could have been a bigger attendance, or the people that you brought in would have known you had more money and demanded more.
No, I faked that real well.
You fake broke real well. But,
oh, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is that money, wishing to go back and change the money status is something that doesn't really work, because if you do, I think we've talked about this before. Like when someone has $1,000 in their savings account, and they do, $1,000 is a lot of money. So no matter how much money they make, they always end up at $1,000. Right. And you're like,
that's my example.
Lottery, and I'm back at $1,000. It's just this loop. So the same thing will happen with a business if you wanted more money in that, you will end up where you were, because it's where your mental state is.
Right. But don't you think having the money and having the opportunity to do things bigger would have changed my mindset?
No.
Well, you're no fun.
Yeah, it wouldn't have changed your mindset because you would be spending your money the same way. You would have just been a lot more flamboyant with it.
Yeah. A lot more generous, a lot more, lot less frugal. I think that would be more the characteristic on that is a lot less frugal.
Yeah, so you would have spent the money anyways, and that's really what I don't. I'm encouraging people to not look backwards and think of money. It's all
Well, what about yeah, I have to take it back to where we kind of started with this. I think time warp is not necessarily money and what would you do all over again. I think part of which I think we want to talk to after after we come back from break, and we're not quite ready yet. But what I want to talk about is how can you move forward by looking back? What if you're going to change it going forward, what experiences would you have learned from in order to make your business better? Because we're at that time of the year now where we're talking about um, New Year's resolutions. We're talking about that new business plan, which honestly, I'm not a big fan of trying to do it all at the end of the year because, well, first of all, taxes get in the way. And we all know how much of a pain in the neck that is. But trying to make a new business plan at the first of the year to me is really awkward from the standpoint that you should be modifying your business plan all year long. You should be making things better going forward based on your current situation. So why do we choose the new year to do it? It's just like they're talking about COVID, and at the new year it's going to just be so much better because 2020 will be over and all of the garbage that has happened in 2020, no matter what it is. But once all the garbage is, once that day flips from 2020 to 2021, everything's going to be new and everything's going to be exciting and everything's going to be back to normal. I don't see it because it's just another day. Good, it's a good mile marker. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we've all got to have a destination of time, but why is that? I mean, even in business, you don't always have to run your business based on the fiscal year. You can do your taxes or your fiscal year based on October or April or whatever it is. You don't always have to do it on January 1st. But very few people choose to do it that way. It's just that taxes come around at the beginning of the year and everybody's scrambling to try and put things together. So if I had to do things better and differently going forward, I would hire an accountant. that would be able to take care of all that. Yes, I have an accountant. However, they don't take care of my day to day. I have to give them the information once the year comes around.
Well, what I want to say to people, and before we go on our first break, is when you're looking back at things you'd like to do better for the future, tomorrow's the future. So what can you do different today? That's really what I'm going for.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, it's like don't wait for Don't wait for tomorrow that you can do today. Today, do it today. If you look back into I really wish X, make today the X. If you want to invest in something for your business or get an accountant or get this, let's say Zoom or StreamYard or whatever, so you can broadcast out, whatever it is, look at it now and implement it today.
Right.
So anything that you regret from the past, you can fix it today. I mean,
well, you key me in on that word because I hate that word.
What?
Regret.
Well, just because you don't regret doesn't mean other people don't regret. I regret.
No, but we shouldn't regret anything. That we've all made our own choices.
But
why would we regret the choices that we made? That's probably part of my positive looking and thinking.
Yeah,
but why would I regret anything?
You don't regret anything. I don't regret anything. But there are people who are on this call right now watching and listening who regret decisions they've made in their lives.
I want to talk more about regret.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, okay, we can switch to regret. But the thing is,
well, don't do your commercial, and then we'll do regret.
If you're out there and you're wondering, I really wish I could have. I really wish I would have. That's regret. It's in the past. Let it go. move forward. And that's what Brian is saying. But we do acknowledge the fact that you have regrets out there. If you're out there and you're regretting, okay, you do. You're human. But it's a waste of time. So keep moving. Would you like that?
Sure.
Yeah. He is so, see, this is what happens when your co-host isn't sitting next to you and he's in another state. Because
Yeah, you can't hit me.
Yeah, he can't get hit. So he's being rambunctious because I can't control him. Yeah, whatever it is. Anyways, thank you so much for watching Denim and Pearls. My name is Michelle Moras, and this is my co-host,
Brian Swanson.
We are business casual
with pearls of wisdom.
Wisdom from the porch. And today it is, again, the proverbial porch, because in Colorado, it is really cold. In Indiana, it is even colder. So if you can please do us a favor and like and subscribe our Denim and Pearls page on Facebook and on YouTube. I have just put the link of the YouTube on one of these pages. I believe it's the Denim and Pearls Facebook page. Please find us on YouTube, Denim and Pearls, and hit the subscribe button. We'd appreciate it. We are still trying to hit over 100 subscribers.
And what do you think of our new stuff?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Our new picture frame here.
Yes, and we have our first person who has helped us out. He did our cartoon above Brian's head. I can't even point.
Yeah, over.
No, up. Yes, to John Mortensen, who made our really cool logo. And if you are interested in being a sponsor on the Denim and Pearls page, please write or message either Brian or Michelle Moras, and or straight to the Denim and Pearls page and say, hey, I'm interested in sponsoring. Please send me the list of how you tier that out, because I want my logo right across the bottom of your faces and on all of your advertising. So please contact us. Please like and share. If you're on right now, please share. If you're watching the replay, please share. And if you really want to do us a big old favor, do a watch party of one of these shows, and it'd be awesome.
Cool. Now show them the rest of the picture. Get rid of the topic.
How do I do that? There.
Yay! Where you can find us.
Yes.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Facebook. Yay!
You feel better now?
Hey, I put all the time into making it. It ought to be. We got to show it off. And now we've got time. And now we've got all of our commercial time. We should get back to our topic.
Well, and I also want to make sure that I say it in the middle before everyone starts leaving. It's this Friday is Christmas, which is why we did our Denim and Pearls show today, which is Wednesday the 23rd. Friday is Christmas Day. Now, here's our thing. If you are not celebrating with all your family and you have nothing to do at noon, you just want to hang out with people and just kind of talk and hang out and, can I say this, BS with us? Join us on Friday at noon. We're going to have some porch talk. It's a Zoom line. So go to 876-2107-6474. And it's also on our Denim and Pearls Facebook page. So just go to the Zoom link and join us on Friday at noon. And it'll be an open call. We're just going to sit around and talk and hang out for an hour. Join us.
Like we're hanging on the porch. So bring a wine, bring a beer, bring a whiskey, bring a cigarette, whatever.
Bring your...
Just don't hurt any, bring anything self-destructive.
And please wear pajamas that are not, what is the word?
Risque.
Risque. There. Well, now we are back with the topic. Let's do the time warp.
Awesome. Okay. We were talking about, because we've got a couple different directions we take this, but I still want to get back to that word regret. I see Marcel popped up and she says she agrees with what you're saying on that and no need to wallow in the past. But I'm going to look at that a little bit differently. Regret to me is feeling really, 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 really extremely bad is a very strong word of regretting something that you've done. I don't think we should regret anything in our lives unless it is on a scale of 1 to 10, it's over the top 11. Okay. That's when you decide that you should have something of regret. What we look back on is making some of the decisions that we made. How do we learn from them? And how do we take all of that going forward? How do we take and learn from it? How do we go to the next thing? I mean, there's things I can say that I regretted in my life, but nothing that I would really truly put that word on. There would be certain things that I say I wish I hadn't done, or I wish I would have made a better decision or a different decision, because now that I've looked back, and we all know that, hindsight is 2020, quarterback couch on Monday. It's always that. But look, as we look there now, I think we can still learn from our past without regretting things that we've done. Some people do regret the things that they've done, but I think they need to take that and change their perspective of it. Just as we change our perspective going forward and having a positive attitude, and some people making a decision that I'm going to be nice. Well, we can sit back and we can decide to change the things that we've done in our past in order to move forward. So regret to me is a very strong word that I don't think anybody should really use. But if you really truly believe in it, look back at it, have a positive look at it, and go, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but going forward, I'm going to do it this way.
I agree. I don't regret anything. But I just know there are a lot of people who do use the word regret, and it's very common. What does she say? Regret is more of a view. It can be horrible or just a wish of change. But yeah, a lot of people do regret, and it's okay. Let it go.
My perspective is on the definition, I guess, if you pull the definition.
Yeah, you're wordsmithing it. Yeah, you're pulling into it. And the thing is, it's just, when we're talking about doing the time warping, going back, we're not saying to go back to change anything. It's time warping to what will you bring to the future? What has been brought to your awareness that you would like to change for the future? If you are watching and listening, tell us what would you like to change for the future? What are you looking for? What do you want to add in your business or in your life to make it better? Now is the time to do it. If once it becomes in your awareness, it's the time to make the change. And I need you to talk, Brian, because people are writing on my page and we can't see it on the StreamYard. So I'm asking them to go to the Denim and Pearls page.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm seeing Marcel and Nicholas up here. I guess one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show today is not because of trying to define the word regret or trying to change the fact that I can make things better. I'm looking at the fact of, and Marcel just said it, lessons learned. What can I learn from my past? Because most of the people at this time of the year, we're looking at the fact that we're 2 weeks away from the first of the year, and most people are looking at, how am I going to make my business plans? How am I going to set my goals for the year? How am I going to do that? Well, that topic to me, like I mentioned earlier, is it's kind of an out there topic. It's kind of rhetorical, if you will, because of using the New Year's as a New Year marker, as a marker to make changes that we should be already making. But rather than talking about that, I wanted to talk about turning back time. I wanted to talk about the time warp. I wanted to talk about looking back at the decisions that have been made over the last year. What decision would you have maybe changed that will help move your business forward? So I wanted to take a look. I just wanted to take a different perspective on New Year's resolutions. What can we learn from? What did we do? Maybe you shut down your business too early because of COVID. Okay. Maybe you shut it down too early, or maybe you shut it down just in time. Who knows what it is? Maybe you let an employee go when you shouldn't have let them go. Maybe you can learn from that in 2021, or you can, and going forward. So I like the idea of turning back time so I can get a different perspective to how my future looks.
Yeah, you look back to see what you need for the future.
Exactly. And there's even another topic, of part of this I've done too, is that, we look at our society now around us today, our social economics, our social kind of everything, if you will, wrap in politics, and look at, there's sometimes that I've said, I just want to hit the 3-finger salute or the Control-Alt-Delete button and reboot the computer and reboot life and go back to when things were better. and I ask people that sometimes, where would you go back? What decade would you go back to? What time would you go back to that maybe it was better for you? Well, that's kind of a fun question to answer, but it's also something we don't necessarily want to look at making changes to our life in order to move forward. It's just a matter of, yeah, this would be fun. Why was it a better time? Was it because you were 14 and you were wild and free and you didn't have to worry about adulting, as they call it these days?
Yeah, no
What would your reason
responsibility.
be to go back?
But you have to remember when you say 14 where I had no responsibilities. Yeah, but you had someone always telling you what to do.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like
Trying to teach us.
Yeah, there's a lot of all the time. I would never change a moment, even the
Well,
bad.
some people look back and say, well, there wasn't all the stupid politics.
There's always
Well, you know what? They just looked differently.
No, they were. We just didn't have full access to see everything and hear everything and all of that. I mean, I think the world is a giant sine wave. Everything's been the same. We just have more awareness of it because there's more news about it. Remember, we used to have TV that actually went off at night. We had 3 channels. One of them was only cartoons. I mean, we lived in a world where we weren't aware, and we had to wait for a newspaper to tell us what happened across the world. Right now, I mean, something happens 5 minutes ago in India, and we know it now. Before,
Yep.
It would have taken a week. So our worlds have become tighter because we have more the social media. We are in touch with each other around the world. So we see more of what's happening. We can't walk around in the bubble doing everything's fine until someone tells me so, because we're seeing it all the time. And that's where the big difference is. And that in itself is beautiful. And I would never change it because it's an opportunity to grow across the world. To go back in time where we were ignorant. It's really what it was. Ignorance was bliss.
Exactly. I think you might want to define ignorant, because that's another one of those words that can have a very bad meaning to it, or an actual strict definition.
The word ignorant to me means you were unaware. It's not an education thing. It was, I'm unaware. I was ignorant of the situation.
Right. I've heard it with that meaning, which I think is a little more appropriate than the fact that you're just ignorant.
No, I don't use it that way.
It's not ignorant is not necessarily always a negative term. It just means uneducated in that particular
field.
Subject. Right.
Yeah. So, and that's what you need to think about. Also, before you get offended by anything you hear, take it from the source, find the source. So if I say something like, wow, that is completely ignorant, think of me. Am I someone to call anyone a name? No. So you've got to readjust. What does she mean by the word ignorant? Oh, she means unaware. Okay, that's different. I'm not calling people names, that kind of thing. Or like with Ryan, I can't use the word regret because it blows him up. He cannot handle the word regret. And the thing is, it's not like I'm saying regret on him. It's the word regret he doesn't like. And he's like, it shouldn't exist. And so take in consideration that we are human and we have our own opinions. We want to know what your opinion is.
Well, I'm totally on board, and I get it. And I always like to make a different. Hi, Aaron.
Marcel agrees with me.
Of course she does. But that's we're also more aware now of things that didn't matter to us. That's true. That is so true. If we follow, I just ran across somebody today who stopped by to visit my mom, who actually lived right next door, and I got to talking to this gentleman, and my mom was talking to his wife, and he's like, the only thing that I have a debit card, but I won't use it because I'm afraid of getting my information stolen. I only use cash, and I don't do anything on the internet. In fact, I don't even know how to use the internet. And I'm like, oh, well, wait a minute. How do you get your information? What do you do? I mean, if you're looking to buy something, well, I just go down to Walmart, or whatever, pick a store. And he says, I go down there, and if they don't have it, I don't need it. I'm like, wow, what a way to, it's a perspective that I would have thought of 30 or 40 years ago. But now that I look at it, I look at our technology today, and our availability is so easy that all we got to do is click a few buttons, and the next thing you know, it's sitting on our doorstep.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've met my husband. He's the same way. He only uses cash. And if it's not in the stores that he's checked in, then we don't need it.
Oh.
And you have someone like me who hears what he's looking for and buys it on the internet, has it show up at the front door.
So it's commercial time. What are we going to talk about after?
I don't know, because I'm curious of what people are saying about what crazy. Let's not even be serious about this. If it was a wild hair, something crazy wild that you would love to have changed in your business, nothing practical, what would you change? Think about it while I'm doing this commercial. Thank you so much for joining us on Denim and Pearls. My name is Michelle Moroz, and this is my co-host, Brian Swanson, all the way from Indiana. We are Denim and Pearls. We are business casual conversations with pearls of wisdom from the porch. And now it is the proverbial porch, because it is very cold outside in Colorado and in Indiana. If you are interested in being a sponsor of the Denim and Pearls podcast, please write or message us on the Denim and Pearls page, or directly to Michelle or Brian. And what else? We'd like to thank our really cool branding. Let me get there. Hold on.
I think we should. I think we need to thank all of our friends out there and all of our fans out there that keep coming up and helping us move this along sometimes.
Yes, and for sharing the live broadcast. We also like to thank our cartoonists for doing our new logo, because it's going everywhere right now. I'd like to thank Brian for making this really cool background that he made. He made a couple of other ones. And please like and subscribe our YouTube page. Remember, this Friday at our normal time, going live for Denim and Pearls, we will be live on the porch from our perspective living rooms and pajama pants and whatever we ever want to do. But come join the Zoom line this Friday at noon. It's 876-2107-6474. It is an open Zoom line. There is no passcode. We have a room, and I will allow people in. So you won't need a passcode. Just get to that number. I know it looks like a phone number. It's a Zoom line. Just go there, and we'll see you Friday at noon.
Before we get out of this, to answer Aaron, no, we did not make the options picture. Sorry, Aaron. However, you can always talk to Michelle. She's talking about for the sponsors.
Well, she wanted the commercial to be in the middle with all the sponsorship, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have information, but we haven't made a slide up for it. How's that?
Yeah. We've
got to have somebody needs to read it so that we make sure we've got everything.
Oh, I read it. I put notes on it. I just forgot to send it back to you.
Okay, so this one we can blame on Michelle.
She's really busy. No, but the thing is the sponsorships. There's a lot of details that go into logos and videos and things like that. There's just too much to be able to put on a PowerPoint slide, and that's why we haven't done it. You have to reach to us directly so we can send you the sheet, because it's got details to it.
Right. I'm looking at the fact it seems to be getting darker outside. I'm going to step over here and turn the light on.
Okay, go turn on the light.
I'm starting to fade away into the dark.
Okay. So while Brian is out there trying to fix the light in his little room in the library, and he is back.
Yeah, I didn't go very far.
Well, I thought you were walking all the way across the room. So
it was a half a step to reach it. I just couldn't reach it from here.
Okay, so welcome back to the Denim and Pearls podcast, and we are talking about let's do the time warp, or if I can turn back time. And we're talking about all the crazy things we could possibly do. We're not talking serious anymore. Now we're talking fantasy world. I could do one thing different in my past. If I could change one thing. I saw Bruce Campbell at the airport, and I was so awestruck that he was there that I couldn't talk to him, because he even had this sunglasses that he wore from Umatep when he was like that, the Elvis Presley impersonator dude. And okay. Bruce Campbell is from all these really crazy sci-fi movies. He's from The Living Dead, right? He's got the gun for an arm or whatever. And
so cool.
I freaking love Bruce Campbell. And I turned out of the airport, came around a corner, and literally hit his chest and went, and I kind of backed up, and I saw his wife, and I went, I think your husband is so cool. I didn't say anything to him.
So you were starstruck.
I couldn't speak. And so I spoke to his wife instead. If I could go back in time, I would have said, Bruce Campbell, you are the man. I have been watching you for years, and you have made me so excited about being a part of sci-fi movies. However campy they are awesome. And I would have said something like that. Nothing life-changing for me. I just wish I would have said something to him. I don't believe in trying to change me.
Sometimes turning back that time would be to make sure that you step out and actually take advantage of certain situations.
Yeah.
It may not be just because it's a star. It could be just because, you walk away from a networking thing and you just go, why didn't I say that? Or you get on stage. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say this when you come off the stage. I think we all go through that. Would you change it and make it different? Well, yeah, if you're going to do that same speech again, you might want to think about remembering to put it in. But other than that, I mean, I don't think that's a regret, but it's something that could have made a difference if you would have made the comment or said the right thing or whatever. I think we all look back at stuff like that. I can think of a few invites I should have fought more for.
That's Bruce Campbell.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
You're showing off your technical talents now.
I was so starstruck. I just could not speak. This man is the coolest guy in the world to me. In the world. And I'm looking for the picture of him with his sunglasses on because that's what I saw and I couldn't move.
So you was being a fangirl.
I was so fangirled right there. And I'm not used to being a fangirl. It normally doesn't faze me at all, but he's wearing these glasses. Oh, where is it? Oh, can I show it to you? This one. See these glasses that he's wearing as Elvis Presley?
Uh-huh.
He was wearing those glasses. So stop sharing.
Nice.
Stop sharing. Okay.
Oh my.
So
now everybody on the podcast is going to be, what the hell pictures was she showing? She's over there fangirling.
Coolest guy ever. I mean, he's just he's a goof. And I think that's why when I had the opportunity to be part of a sci-fi movie, I'm like, I'm in. I don't care what it's about. I'm in. Because honestly, I was hoping to one day run into Bruce Campbell. And then I did. And then I couldn't talk.
So are you seeing somebody besides Aaron going on over there, Aaron and Marcel?
It's just Aaron now. I don't even see Marcel anymore.
Oh, she went away too.
Yeah. But anyways, it's just something goofy. What would you have done? I mean, like with me on stage, if I forget to say something, I think it wasn't meant to come out. Right.
Right. Or you can explain it later.
Yeah, it's not a big deal to me. But it was something like a once in a lifetime chance to run into someone that I didn't talk.
Right.
You've met thousands of celebrities through Galaxy Fest. Did you ever not talk to one of them?
Actually had nothing to do with Galaxy Fest, but Lou Diamond Phillips was actually at the Broadmoor one time. Do I regret not talking to him? Not really, because I got to stand from, I was within 5 feet of him basically, but everybody else was so fanboy and fangirling it that I didn't want to be rude. I sit there and I sit back and I actually look at that situation and I wonder, you know what? Should I have been like all of them and been just as obnoxious and disrupting to his dinner? Or was I being a nice guy that he didn't even know I was a nice guy and didn't even know I was there?
He was too busy blocking out all the people who were interrupting his dinner. He didn't notice you were there either.
Exactly. So I'm like, if I didn't walk away with an autograph, and which was not going to happen, if I didn't walk away with an autograph, who cares? I wouldn't have nothing else to show for it but the story that I'm telling. The only difference is I would have said, yeah, I got to shake his hand.
Oh, Marcel's there and Mike Masso says hi. So you got one
There's
person.
Mike.
hi. Mike says hi. Marcel's still here. Erin says she had somebody fangirl over her because of her book and her cause. I've had that.
Nice.
No, it's funny when people fangirl on me, and it's like, why? I get really confused by it. Huh?
We go back to the picture, the perception. We all look at everybody different. We all look at things differently. And if people are fangirling over you, cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching Denim and Pearls. I mean,
Nice. So, but anyhow, I'm thinking back to what our conversation was earlier. I think it was yesterday or the day before about our, what did we call that little segment of the show we were going to talk about doing? Mike doesn't need a do-over. Mike, this is true. I've known Mike for a long time. He definitely doesn't need a do-over.
no do-overs. No do-overs. No do-overs for Mike.
Well, nope. I don't think it's a matter of doing over to change your life. I think it's just back. It's looking back. I think what we want to emphasize is looking back on what you may have done different that you can do different going forward to make things better.
What can you shift now?
Yeah. What kind of shift can you make? What kind of pivot can you make?
When I talk to my clients and they say, I really wish I do. What's wrong with today? I really wish I could have. Yes. Okay. What's wrong with today? Today is now. Do it now. Oh, but now because I'm not ready. Well, you said you wished. So therefore you thought of it, which means you can do it now.
And therefore you're ready. Then
you're ready. And they're like, crazy lady.
Well, that's like one of those, it reminds me of that one statement that a coach used to make to me. He'd ask me a question and I say, I don't know. He says, well, if you knew, what would it be? Mm-hmm. I just told you I don't know.
But if you did know, what's the possibility? Yeah, I do that too. I'll remember.
It's actually a good question to ask yourself sometimes when you do say no, or say you don't know. Well, if you did know the answer, what would that answer be?
What out of some wildest dream, what it would be. And yeah, Erin says, be who you are, don't pretend. And Marcel says, I'm happy with how I am today. Choices is what you decide today and tomorrow. It's actually your choices are every moment.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so make good choices, and if you make a bad one, oh well, make the next one good. I mean, it's that simple, and you don't have to make life complicated. Just be the best version of you, and be unapologetic about it.
Yeah, I think it's just I mean, for the purpose of this turning back time in the time warp, I think it's just the purpose of changing the little things. What it was. I'm not talking about. I mean, if you want to make a life-changing story going forward, yeah, but for our businesses that we have out there, what would we have done different over the last year that could have made a difference, and how can you apply that to going forward? How can you apply that to whatever the changes are going to be with businesses and with those kind of things in 2021?
Well, and the thing is we aren't saying making life changes that make huge things. We're saying if you want to change, do it.
Do it. Be aware of it.
Yeah, be aware of it and do it. Erin says, what's the best that could happen and what's the worst that can happen? Move forward. Yep. Yes, Erin, in our little coaching session, I did tell you.
Nice.
Stop making things so complicated. You eat the elephant. Oh, not your elephant. Eat the elephant one bite at a time. Stop looking at the big thing and do, oh my gosh, it's huge. I wanted to do it, but I can't do it because it's so big. No, just take one. Do it.
Another one too that I haven't brought up, and it kind of fits in here, and I haven't brought it up before, but I was given a word of advice by my uncle many years ago, and it was about moving forward, and it was forgetting about the maybe the bad decisions that we made in life, or something that was happening to us at the present moment, something that negative has happened. My uncle used to look at me and he would say, does it really matter today? Well, yeah, it matters. Does it matter tomorrow? Probably. Is it going to matter next week? Probably not. Is it going to matter next year? No. Then why does it matter? He used to tell me that all the time, and there's been a lot of situations that I've looked at that. I've looked at it from that perspective. It might be important today, and it might be upsetting still tomorrow, but what's going to happen when I'm over it next week? Is it really going to matter? So why do I care about it now?
Well, I shared this on a podcast like a couple of days ago, where someone says, would you go back and change your cancer story? And I said no. And they said, well, cancer is pretty horrific. You wouldn't have changed that? I said no. If I didn't get that cancer diagnosis, I would still be on the path of being very sick, very mean to myself, and being very unhappy with myself. It wasn't until someone says you've got 3 months to live that I went, I might want to enjoy my last days. And so it shifted how I looked at my past and went, you know what? I need to make better decisions now, because I need to make every day of those 3 months I have left worth it. And if I drop dead anytime in that time period, everyone around me knows I love and care for them and that I lived my best life as I could. And so that's kind of my mentality, how I move forward. I regret nothing, and I work on today. I live in the moment and I look forward. And so I move very quickly through issues because of that mentality. And every once in a while, I need a friend like you, and I do, Brian, I'm in a loop. I can't get out. Help. And he goes, is it going to matter tomorrow? Yes. Is it going to matter next week? Yes. Is it really going to matter next week? No. Okay, I'll let it go. But you need people in your life that do that kind of thing. So it doesn't matter how positive you are. You need a circle of people that can be there for you. And if you are sitting out there right now doing, I really wish I had someone to talk to, and I just want to just kind of let it out and just kind of be. Join us on Friday at noon. Let's see if I can.
Good segue. I was going to suggest the same thing because we're at the end of our time.
Yes, join us this Friday at noon. That's a Zoom link. I have it in the description on the Denim and Pearls Facebook page. It's an announcement that just popped up actually on the page. In 2 more minutes is about to pop up, and it will be the Zoom link. You can just click on it. Join us on Friday at noon Mountain Standard Time, and we're just going to hang out in our jammies and talk. Bring your beverage of choice.
Appropriate pajamas, please.
Appropriate pajamas and talk. So thank you so much for joining us on
that business casual jammies.
Yes, business casual jammies. Thank you so much for joining us on Denim and Pearls, the podcast. Please like and share our page on Facebook and on YouTube. If you are interested in being a sponsor, please write Denim and Pearls on Facebook or Brian or Michelle and say, hey, I'm interested in sponsorship. Send me the paperwork, and we will send that directly to you. Anything else?
I don't know. I do know that we've got some plans that are going to be coming up after the new year, right? And we're going to change things around a little bit between you and I and the podcast.
You want to announce that? Or do you want to announce it on Friday?
I don't want to necessarily announce it then either. I just want everybody to think about what are they going to do different.
Okay, yes. Things are happening with the Denim and Pearls page. Brian and I are getting creative, and the distance is making us crazy. But no, we're doing things different. Join us on Friday. Let's talk. Let's hang out. Come that Zoom line. We're all going to be there together, and we'll kumbaya, Brady Bunch, and hang out and goof off.
Yeah, I think we do need a precursor with the fact that this might be one of the things that we do just for everybody to hang out. It doesn't cost anything. We're not there to do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to tease you, Aaron. This is the kind of thing, because once we get famous, so take advantage. If you like to hear Michelle talk or listen to me talk, or just want to run something past us, this is definitely going to be the time to do it. It's on Friday, especially if you're sitting at home, don't have anybody else to talk to. Join in the fun. Why not?
Yeah, that's why we wanted to do it. It's like we're all kind of alone in our homes, and it's like, let's just get together. We won't make it formal and be online. We'll just go in a group and we'll just hang out. And everybody else who doesn't see this won't join us, and boo-hoo on them. Or if you know someone,
more cake for me.
Invite them on Friday and say, hey, Denim and Pearls is having an open line. Let's all go over there and be with them.
I like Aaron says, I'm going to be famous too.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
We're so glad we had this time together to do the time warp again, because If we could turn back time, we don't need to, because today is a new day and tomorrow is the future. And if we'd like to change something, change it today. Until next time, this is Denim and Pearls. My name is Michelle Moras, and
Brian Swanson.
we are
Peace.
It's Casual.
Oh, you're going to do that again? All right,
Yeah.
fine.
It's Casual
With Pearls of Wisdom.
from the porch. We'll see you Friday at noon Mountain Standard Time. Go to the Zoom link. It's on the Denim and Pearls Facebook page. Peace.
Peace.